Modulate control measures. The aim of this unit is to explain to you the importance of control measures. Learning outcomes. By the end of this unit, you should be able to define control measures, describe the parameters to which controls can be applied, suggest measures which effectively control hazards, including genetic control measures. So control measures, the definition, these are the actions required to prevent or eliminate a food safety hazard or reduce it to an acceptable level. Controls can be applied to temperature, time, pH, water content, size, shape, weight, additives, visual assessment, chemical analysis. Genetic controls. Use approved suppliers. This is a prerequisite where you could get contamination. Staff vigilance and training, another prerequisite where you could get contamination, multiplication, survival. Cleaning and disinfection, another prerequisite program where you can get contamination, survival of bacteria or in fact spores. Pest management, another prerequisite program where you can get contamination, good personal hygiene, contamination, waste management, where you could get contamination. Genetic controls include stock rotation, where you could get multiplication, color coding, where you could get contamination, good design of food premises, again contamination could occur, effective maintenance, where you could get contamination, multiplication or survival. Well constructed, or you could get contamination. Protect and cover, where you could get contamination if not. Genetic controls include segregation of raw and ready to eat foods. Contamination could occur otherwise. The addition of salt, sugar and acid, which are preservatives, or you could get multiplication. Adjust the pH to make it more acidic, or you could get multiplication. Keep dry, or you could get multiplication. Size, weight and shape of joint, you could get multiplication if the joint is too big, so you need to keep the joints small enough so they can cook in adequate time and to the correct temperature. Time management, or you could get multiplication. So preparation of food, for example, when you're preparing food, if you're slicing cooked meat, for example, make sure you don't do it all in one go. Take bits out at a time to do, so that the food is not out of temperature control for long periods of time. Storage temperatures, or you could get multiplication. Again, fridges. The legal temperature requirement for fridges in the UK is 8 degrees C or below, but it is recommended that you keep your fridges below 4 degrees C, because E. coli will grow at 4 degrees C or above, and it can produce toxins at that temperature. So the colder the better, but without freezing the product. And with freezers minus 18 degrees C or lower. And cooking or processing, or you could get survival of bacteria. Physical contamination controls, need to use inspection belts, or you could use inspection belts, or you could get contamination. Have a glass policy, so no glass whatsoever should be used on the premises, or you could get contamination of the glass. A no wood policy in the kitchen, on the preparation area, or you could get contamination. Metal detection could lead to contamination if you don't detect it. The use of x-rays, again, or you could get contamination. So obviously not all businesses are going to have all these contamination controls. Depends on the business, the type of food, the size of the business, etc. You just got to make sure you do everything necessary within your power to prevent physical contamination. Chemical contamination controls. Don't store food in old chemical containers. Separation of chemicals from food. Again, these are all going to cause contamination. Don't store chemicals in unmarked containers. Rinsing following chemical cleaning. Make sure you do rinse after cleaning using chemicals. Remember, many of these controls are prerequisite programs to ensure good or general good hygiene practices are adopted, so the HACCP plan can concentrate on the more significant hazards. Again, here's an example of a completed HACCP control chart. So we've completed the first two, process steps and hazards. So controls with purchase using approved supplier, delivery, time and load within 10 minutes. Again, for frozenness, minus 18 degrees C. Store at less than minus 18 degrees C or up to minus 18 degrees C. Time controlled thawing. Store at less than 5 degrees C. Cook, it says 78 degrees C. Again, you need to discuss it with your HACCP team. Look at the relevant data on what is safe. As I've already mentioned, if you're cooking meat, regardless of whether it's chicken, pork, beef, if you're cooking it to 63 degrees C or above, it is safe to eat. Time, 2 hours. This is if you're cooling. 2 hours at 60 degrees C, or between 60 degrees C and 21 degrees C, and 4 hours at 21 to 7 degrees C. That's the rules they use in the USA, the Food and Drug Administration. Store at less than 5 degrees C. Clean and disinfect food surfaces. Serve within 15 minutes of removal from fridge, and add black pepper just before eating. So the key points, we looked at control measures, the parameters to which controls can be applied, measures which effectively control hazards, including generic control measures.